Hey guys, I'm gonna be doing something very special to me, and that's going to be I'm writing a manga, okay, and I'm not the best drawer of humans, like people. I'm good, but I'm not really good. Like I'm not Kubo good at all. I'm not at Kubo standards, Oda standards. Not even Kishimoto is better, is like worse than me at drawing humans. Like I'm just not good at drawing people. And to me, honestly, the best drawer of human body parts is the person who draws Toriko. I don't actually know his name off the top of my head right now, but he draws humans really well. Whether that you know that, and he's also really good with monsters. That's another thing he's good at. But the thing I'm really good at is weapons. A lot of people like give Kubo a lot of props for the weapon design he gives to his weapons. I take that and roughly escalate it at a level of about 10 times Kubo in terms of weapon drawing. I can draw a weapon. I could not draw a bad weapon if I tried to. Like I could draw. Let me see what I can find. Give me a second, actually. I can't find it right now. I was gonna try to find a picture of a hatchet type thing I drew when I was like 4 years old, because it really is not horrible, and I was 4 when I drew it. If I can find that, I will show it to you. But I have only gotten better since then, and honestly, that one is not the greatest I've ever done, obviously, since I was 4 years old then, and I'm 15 now. So it's been 11 years since then, and I remember drawing that. Like the paper it's on is pretty screwed up. Once I find it though, it might actually be right here. No, not there either. Oh, that sucks. Really wish I could show you that. Is that it? No. But if I ever find it, I will take the. Oh, that's it. Okay. Here's the drawing from when I was 4 years old. I kind of got happy there at the end and started like covering it with orange marker, as you can see, which is just another indication that I was younger when I drew this, because obviously I was stupid when I was a kid, so I just drew orange marker, like scribbled it all over the page, and that was kind of the starting point to me of when I started drawing decent weapons. Let me explain this one to you though. I remember even what I wanted this to be. This is kind of like a broadsword snapped in half. It's kind of like a cut broadsword type thing, like kind of like Ichigo's sealed Zanpakuto. And then this needle, if this needle hits them, it kills them, but the rest of it, but it's so hard to hit them because it's like barely sticking out of the top. I mean, so it has to hit them directly. Like it has to be the tip or it doesn't work. And that's kind of what I had in mind when I drew that. Now, it came out a lot better than I thought it would when I was a kid, because I didn't think I was real good at drawing weapons when I was a kid. Now I can draw a bad weapon for the life of me now, so I'm a really good weapon drawer. And that's why I'm saying that if you would please, like, even if you don't think I draw characters and like humans well, though it doesn't come out till 2014. If any, I'm gonna start doing reviews of chapters I've already drawn and written. And the reason I say this is because if you don't know, a lot of manga reviewers actually draw and write the chapters like almost like 3 months prior to when they release them, because that's a lot easier. I'll tell you that much. You'd think it might not be, but it is a lot easier. Now, by 2014, I mean legitimately 2014. Not even early on in the year. The earliest we're looking at right now is probably about June 2014. So if you could just drop a like on any, or drop a like, a subscribe, or just rate it anywhere, even a 3 would be fantastic. I mean, just anything really will work. But I'm just going to tell you about the first chapter, and this is going to be two-parter. One, because this little kind of side tangent type thing here, and there's always going to be the part where I kind of, have to describe a kind of 72-page chapter to you in not even 10 minutes. So this could take it would take a lot of talking, and I'm not necessarily the fastest talker ever. So it's going to kind of just flat stop, and then it'll just go right into the next one. So so the chapter basically starts with the main character. Let me describe the main character first, actually, because this makes it so much easier. Okay, so he kind of has that Goku type of hair, like it's kind of spiky-ish, like, you know what I mean. It's not like real spiky or anything, not like Super Saiyan spiky, but it's spiky. That kind of anime spiked feel to it. I don't really know how you describe it, but it's kind of has that look to it, and it's blonde. And on the first page, when you look at his pupils, they're not black. They're actually supposed to be golden. Now the thing is that they're golden for a particular reason, but that's so far off from now where we actually learn the reason for that. I can't really just talk about it right here, because if I told you that, it would spoil about 90% of the storyline up until the point where you find out about it. So I'm just not gonna do it now. I mean, it would be stupid. And I know it's in 2014, but that's how much I don't want people to know about what's gonna happen. So, and also, he wears the same brown hoodie all the time. He wears a different undershirt, and the undershirt does change all the time, but his shorts are always turquoise, and a lot of people always mention that brown looks really, really weird with turquoise. And he says a lot that he already knew that. And so, well, my character is very non-shonen typical. When one of his friends early on in the series kinda asked him to kill him, they didn't say no. He did it. He blows them away. Like, seriously. I mean, he does not back. Like, this is a slight spoiler. Earlier on in the series, about the second big arc, one of his friends is fixing to have to go fight one of their siblings, and he says, "I would rather die than fight my sibling." And he says, "I could kill you." And he's like, I was joking, right? He said, and he had already been charging up an attack to kill the person. Like, he seriously takes things very seriously. If you say that you're going to kill, you would rather die than do something, he will actually charge up an attack to kill you if that's what you want. Like, he'll do that. And another thing he'll do is, he'll very commonly, and this is not something that he does like once or twice. All the time, he talks about how they're not your friends if you wouldn't kill them if they asked. He also talks about, he quotes the phrase, keep your enemies close, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. He quotes that a lot. Another thing, he always talks about the sky a lot because of his ability. Like, he's always referencing weather. So, like, he's a really interesting character in my opinion, because he's just not normal in a sense of shonen kind of feel to it. So he's leaning over this guy's body. You can't identify who it is because it's just splattered with blood. Like, the clothing, unidentifiable. The face is unidentifiable. The hair color is unknown because all his hair is literally like just taken right off. He's not wearing any shoes. His pants are like incinerated essentially, and his shirt is just so bloodstained that you can't even see what color it is. And his face looks just like anyone's face would if they were in this position. It is just messed up. Like, it is covered with blood in every which way. His eyes, one of his eyes are closed, and the other eyeball is ripped out. The eyeball and the open eye is ripped out of his skull. He's a pretty messed up guy at this point, whoever it is he's leaning over. And he says, I want to say, and he starts monologuing in his head about the sky, and I did say he would do this a lot. He says, why is it that in every book I'd ever read, he reads a lot, by the way, because he doesn't go to school like most of the kids do. And this does take place in a medieval era, so that school thing's kind of a bit off, but, you know, still, it does take place in the King of Arthur storyline, by the way. It does reference the Knights of the Round Table and a lot of other things. The Holy Grail, lots of things are referenced in this. So I'm going to give that right on the table real quick. If you're wondering what time period-ish this is going to take place in. So he's standing over his body and he says, why, in every book I'd ever read, when a character dies or anything sad happens in general, it always rains. Now, you may have noticed this, okay? Now, here's one big one, Alabasta from One Piece. That is a large example of that. Something sad happened, and when it was over, it kind of started raining. And this happens in many shonen cases. I want to say after the Pain thing, it rained. During the Pain thing, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but there was a rain reference in there somewhere. I'm positive. The Itachi thing, a lot of people will say, "Well, that was because of the lightning." And I don't give a damn. It still rained. It still rained. When Jiraiya was dying, it was raining. There's a lot of rain. The biggest one, though, I'll tell you what, Naruto vs. Sasuke at the end of part 1, straight up rained. Like, it couldn't have rained for less than a day after that. Like, it was still raining when he got back to the Leaf, and what couldn't have been more than, like, less than 2 days, because that's about how long it took them to get to the point where they were at. It took like 4 or 5 days. So it had to have taken at least 4 or 5 days for them to get back, like, no matter if they were running as fast as Kakashi could. So what I'm saying is, raining when sad things happen or sad things are over is just a common thing that happens in a lot of shonen. My character notices that it's not raining and his friend just died. And he says, he was going to finish him off. A lightning bolt comes from the sky and strikes the body. He turns around, and the person who killed him, he even says, and then the monologue says, and then I turned around and looked at the killer. He turns around, and a tear is going down the killer's face, kind of giving the hint that whoever killed him was friends with the guy that's dead there. So that immediately gives a large hint to who this might be. And once you get to know more characters, who this might be on the ground, who could have killed him, and what is his relation to the main character and all that stuff. But that, once again, you need to know more characters for that to even remotely be guessed at. And really, the thing is that I really thought that no one had ever touched on this in a shonen before. And then, because it would not rain, all you see is the main character snap his fingers, and a drop of some liquid hits his face, and he thinks it started raining, and it's just blood that splashed on his face when he was stabbed in the throat. So then we go to current day time, and what's going to happen next I'll go over in part 2. So this is where I'm going to end the video. Remember, rate, subscribe, and like, and I'll continue this review at another time.